Hello everyone. So I first want to show you that again we're at the webxr augmented reality, and we are going over webxr part 2 coding, and that has a tutorial, and I might actually be putting an updated tutorial down here. And you have all of these resources for the next step. You've already watched Sky's tutorial on AR on the desktop, and now this is the next step. Okay, what is the next step? Now, I will show you that we're going to kind of follow almost verbatim this. Here it is. There it is. Beginning webxr step-by-step basic 3JS tutorial part 1. All right, we've already checked out all the resources in Canvas. And we're going to go first to Glitch, because Glitch is going to be the tool that we use in order to build and follow along of code that was already put together. And this whole thing was put together by a webxr and the webxr Academy. So I'm really pulling from them a lot and just kind of trying to introduce you to them. So let's do that now. Let me actually start anew. Let's just basically go to glitch.com. You can look up glitch.com. And I would say that glitch.com is very similar to CodePen. So it's like CodePen for AR, right? And I certainly would recommend create what's the word? Oh yeah, great. I would definitely consider creating your own account, but you actually don't even have to do that, right? You don't even have to do that. Okay, so what we're doing, and there's a link, and you can actually even go do it right here. You can look for webxr, and you can go into intro to webxr, and you can go and this is what we're working on today, and then eventually we'll be doing different other projects as well that you'll, but today this is what we're looking on, and this is what it looks like. XR. Okay, and intro to webxr again, and then we're looking at the examples. All right. And what if we've already looked at the basic scene, and this is what the basic scene looks like. Eventually, we're going to go into an AR scene. Let's try to do this. Okay. And so eventually we're going to get to that, right? We're going to get to that, and we're going to build that. And then when we get into one of these scenes, that's a little late. Again, you have, let's just go back here. All right, so we have, I think we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, kind of 7 different examples, and this is different, I think. But I'm gonna do this. Okay, and notice that it says start AR, because you had already set it up on Sky's tutorial, so this should work now. And you're going to look at it here, and it's going to, again, it's going to have the same, where you can go in and out, and you can play around with it and flip it around and stuff like that. And, so anyhow. Ooh, you can bring it closer. You can add, so, but the goal again is to code and get it over to the smartphone. So because this is not as exciting to do the desktop, and eventually this will be on your phone. So we start everything on the desktop. Like Sky began to show you, and we test everything on desktop, but eventually the goal is to get this into a phone. You do not have to write anything from scratch. We're going to go to the source, we're going to view the source, and we are going to edit it, and you can edit it on here, but this is what it looks like. Okay, now Are we going along? Let's see. Is everything working out? So this, yeah. So note that this code is not laid out in a professional manner. What that means is laid out in inline, and it is laid out in a way that it's called inline, that where a script is mixed with HTML and mixed with style, and actually I think there's a separate CSS. And is that right there? Yeah, right here. There's a separate CSS. But the HTML and JavaScript is all mixed together, and they have super basic CSS. All right, so, as you do every time that you start any project like this, put your last name in, so you kind of, hold on, remix to edit. So put your and it says loading project. You can now edit this project here. It takes a little while. Okay, so now you're gonna put, so you own it. Hello, own it. Right. So it's ready to go. Okay. Again, I went over how this is inline and how it is. So what do I do next? Let's see. Go to Rubix. Copy and paste this code. We already have this in the Visual Code file. Okay, we already have this in Visual Code. No, I'm sorry. We already have it zipped separately and downloaded. And make sure you also, we'll do this in class, but and that is right here in intro to webxr. So right here you download it and you can open it up in Visual Code. So you have several backups and everything. But for now, we're gonna try to concentrate on learning it inside of Glitch. And I think one other way you can do it is to also use just a text edit. We're gonna be racing a bunch of stuff and basically going through the notes and rewriting them. You have the complete solution code right in front of you. So we're just practicing it by deleting it and then copying it back over, so you understand some of the basics. Let's just explore the code before I start erasing it. All right. Let's see if I can remember it. So a script source is super important, because this, you notice, grabs 3.js, and it's exactly like the CDN style you did with Google Fonts, and you also did it with Font Awesome, I believe. Now we're doing it for 3.js because it's such a massive library. You don't want to download it on your desktop. And what is 3.js again? It is the massive, largest, most excellent library out there for 3D. Here's all these amazing projects that have been built using 3JS. You can use it as a resource, essentially. So the tools are today is Glitch, 3.js, Visual Code, copying, pasting, and using a text edit. So those are the different tools we're doing today. All right, moving ahead. Let's not get too... Okay, so you see that this is JavaScript. So JavaScript starts right after it says script. Type equals module. Okay, we have to do a camera, scene, and renderer. So we have to also do mesh. Here's container equals create element div. Again, this is a DOM, so this goes into the HTML. And there's all these different notes, like all these different notes that you can reference. Like all 3JS scenes need three things: a scene, camera, and renderer. Okay, that's important notes, right? It does. It needs a scene. So you build. So you're like, okay, these three things. So I got to get them. More information. Again, you go to 3JS orgs manual. So you kind of read down. Number one, create the scene. Although there's nothing in it just yet. Scene equals new 3.scene. You will see this new 3.scene. This means this is the scene out of 3.js. You'll see that here. You'll see that here. Oh, we need a camera. Okay, got to do that. Oh, we need to render. Okay, here's WebGL renderer. Okay, and oh, we need so it's like you'll see that all throughout JavaScript, referencing, grabbing the library, the CDN library. So that's talking to the CDN library right here, this 3.js. So it's going, and that's how, that's how it works. And webxr cut and paste. And it seems silly, and it seems, but you can also do this with Visual Code. You can go look back and forth with Visual Code. So maybe I'll do that instead. Hold on, sorry. Yeah, there you go. But just for now, okay, so I have that. You can, so I pretend that nothing's done. So let's pretend we're doing this from scratch. So what then do I do next? So I set it up by doing I need a camera, scene renderer. Okay. We need these three things, right? Let mesh, and this is a semicolon. And then initialize it. It's just one of those things that you have to do to make JavaScript work, and then animate. So you do that, and that's just one of those extra steps that make the setup possible. Okay, what do you do next? What does this mean? This is another way. So it needs to be initialized. So function initialize init. What does this mean? Okay, initialize. So function. What does initialize do? All right, let's take this away. Maybe let's just take this away for now. And I pasted it. I know it seems very silly, but it just allows you to slow it down and practice the coding. So I'm going to say that and const is another way of, it's like let container equal. It's like a let or a var element, and this is called a DOM, and this talks to the HTML because we still have HTML that we need to get to, and you've created a container that's inside of HTML. And hold on,